Robert here, and welcome to episode 16 of RobGioRanks. But before we get started, I just want to say that from now on, I'm going to be doing these episodes in a much easier and shorter format. From this point on, I'm only going to be just stating what my ranking is, and I'm only going to be talking about like some of the tracks that I think are highlights after I announce the ranking. And yeah, that's pretty much, and of course I'll give out my final thoughts. That's pretty much how it's going to be from now on. Just because it's, again, not only an easier format than it was before, but also I won't have to go through a huge chunk of copyright trouble again. So for this episode, as you can tell by the title of the video, I'm going to be talking about the most recent album that I got in my CD collection. Of course, what I'm talking about is Venetian Snares, Rossz Csillag Alatt Született. An album that opened my eyes up to breakcore, a subgenre that I feel like Johnny is most fond of. So, let's just get started. Oh, and just a quick reminder, like, this album's title, as well as all the songs' titles, are in Hungarian. So for any Hungarian viewers and or subscribers in the audience, if I mispronounce any of these song titles, I do indeed apologize. But anyways, at number 11, I have placed Sixteenth. Number 10, I have placed Galam Egyidol. Number 9, I have placed Senkidala. Number 8, I have placed Hizekeni. Again, this is pretty hard titles, I'm sorry. At number 7, I have placed Felbomlazot Mentkokshi. I'm bad at Hungarian. Number 6, I have placed Ketsarku Mozgalam. Number 5, I have placed Onyilkos Vasonap. Number 4, I have placed Masodik Galam. Number 3, I have placed Zamar Madar. Number 2, I placed Hajnol or Hadnol. I don't know how you pronounce it, but I'm just going to call it Hajnol. And finally, number 1, obvious pick is obvious, but it's Rossz Csillag. It is Rossz Csillag. And that's the ranking proper. And now this is where I'm going to explain like what I think are like some of the highlights on here, and I'll just briefly give out my final thoughts. So let me just point out the elephant in the room, Rossz Csillag. That was pretty much my introduction to not only Venetian Snares, but also to the breakcore genre. Like, listening to that track in its near 5-minute entirety, like, just after listening to this, I just gained a newfound respect for the genre. And it's a genre that I'm just as fond of as I am fond with, say, drum and bass, or progressive house, or electro house, or just like a lot of subgenres of EDM that I like. But about this track, Rossz Csillag, it's pretty much an awesome track, to be sure. Like the way it mixes like the string sections in with his intricate breakcore production. I mean, this is like a track that you would find on like the Richard D. James album, but like literally on steroids. Also, go check out the fan-made music video to this that I'm also gonna link down in the description down below. It really goes along with the music. And of course, there are other tracks that do this flawlessly as well, like Hajnol and Zamar Madar. Like Hajnol, while it's not the longest track, that one goes to, I believe, Ketsarku Mozgalam, which stretches on for nearly 9 minutes. Hajnol goes on for 7 minutes. But Hajnol does a really great job at just being like such an epic track, like just like an epic track in general. Like it's all chill in one half, and then in the other half it goes like absolutely hard AF. Like Hajnol is another awesome track. And then Zamar Madar, I did not expect this to be in my top 3. But holy fuck, this track is just, it's probably one of the most emotionally resonant breakcore tracks I've ever heard. Like the orchestral strings, like, it gives me like a melancholy feel compared to like any other track I've heard on this album. I mean, I could say the same for Senkidala, the closer, but whatever. But Zamar Madar, like, it manages to be intricate while also being, again, emotionally resonant at the same time. like the entirety of the track can be goosebumps for a second. And then Maso di Galam is another awesome track, but it just barely missed the top 3. That one's a really awesome one. And Ongikos Mvasarnap, that one is really awesome too. Like it starts slow and then it progressively gets even more intricate as time goes on. And when I first listened to this track, it really caught me off guard because of its 7/4 time signature. But I realize now that it's pretty much, its running theme. Like pretty much, I believe like almost every track is like in 7/4 time. And as you can tell, I pretty much love the beat-centric tracks just a bit more than the little interludes here and there, like with Sicker Tellin' Sick. That one's a pretty cool intro. It's And I also gotta give a special shout out to Senki Dala. It made for a really great closer to this album. And it's pretty much one of those albums where I never disliked a single track here. Much like with every other album that I think is just like awesome or just a masterpiece, I do think that all the tracks do contribute to its like overall atmosphere, and it really does a great job of being like an RDJ album 2.0. In short, this album was just awesome. And the fact that it was inspired by like a visit to Hungary, that's gotta be something really special. I'm sure it really meant something to him. Thinking about it now, listening to this album kind of makes me have a newfound respect for like Hungary and its unique Uralic language. Like, listening to this now, I want to go to Hungary sometime. And, yeah, again, this album was just awesome, and I'm overall feeling a 9.3 out of 10 on this. So what do you think about Rossz Csillag Alatt Született? If you have any thoughts on it, then I suggest leaving it down in the comment section down below. The Spotify link to this album will also be linked in the description down below if you want to give this album a listen. If you have any projects you want me to rank next, feel free to leave your request in the request here form in the description down below. And yeah, be sure to like this video, share this one with your friends if you want to, and leave a comment down below. And as always, don't forget to subscribe as we're on the road to 7,000 subscribers. Also, I hope that I can finally upload these kinds of videos on a weekly basis now that I'm making these videos in a much easier format than ever before. So, yeah, I guess that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye, guys.